How's it going, everybody? It's your friend Johan here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you enjoyed your Valentine's Day weekend, whether you have a significant other or not. I took to my Instagram and I asked everyone there to hit me up with what genres I should be covering here. And once again, I got bombarded with a bunch of them. So today we're just going to be covering 25. And by genres, I mean subgenres. So you won't just see like rock, pop, hip hop, jazz, like the head of the snakes, but you're going to be seeing more so subgenres and everything that fall within those like major categories and stuff. How this tier list works is instead of doing the standard, S tier, A tier, B tier, and so on, at the very top, we got This Is My Shit. These are genres of music that I'm just completely in love with. I'll never get sick of listening to them. They are definitive within my tastes. The tier below that, we got Objectively Good. These are genres of music that are widely accepted to be, a pleasant listening experience, regardless of how I feel. The tier below that is Okay, which is pretty self-explanatory. And the tier below that belongs to genres that I don't really listen too much of, so I don't really have enough research to form any sort of opinion there. And at the very bottom, we got No, This Is Not For Me. Yeah, not to say that those genres are bad, because I don't think there are bad genres within music. I just think that those are not necessarily for me. For more music content like this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, without further ado, welcome to me tier ranking a bunch of music genres. Let's get to it. 2012 bangers. I believe my good friend Chris was the one who suggested this one. Hey Chris, thank you for sending me this. And I think what he means by bangers are just like the mainstream pop songs that were all over the radio in 2012. Here, let's Google what were the Billboard top songs this year. Okay, by the looks of it, I like some of these. I also don't like some of these. Wasn't Latch by Disclosure and Sam Smith, didn't that come out in 2012? Because to me, that's like one of the greatest pop songs of all time. Yeah, like I said, I like some of these. I don't like some of these. Like, it's pretty middle of the road for me. So yeah, to start things off, I guess we're being pretty neutral here. So I'm going to toss 2012 bangers in the okay section. Starting the letter A, we got Acapella. Whenever most people think about Acapella, they think of the Pentatonics, and rightfully so, because they're just dope. I don't really listen to Acapella music these days, but I definitely have listened to it enough growing up to, recognize how dope it is, but it's not my favorite. It's cool, but it's still not my favorite. So I think I'm going to toss Acapella right beside 2012 bangers in the okay section. Up next, we got anime openings. I haven't watched that much anime in comparison to most people, but Naruto is my favorite anime. I've seen Berserk, I've seen DBZ, I've seen Death Note. I've seen enough anime to recognize how dope, how immersive that they make the experience of watching the show is. They just add that much sauce to why most of these anime shows are sick. But yeah, nevertheless, I think anime openings are objectively great. Yeah, in Naruto, my favorites are definitely like Bluebird and Silhouette. Those two go so fucking hard. We got Boom Bap. Yeah, Boom Bap was during the late 80s, early 90s, during one of the golden ages of hip hop, if not the golden age of hip hop. Boom Bap is just super fundamental. It's just one of those things where like without it, the genre or just hip hop as a whole wouldn't be where it is today without those foundations. And at least for me, like I remember when I listened to Joey Badass's 1999 for the first time when I was, I don't know, like 14, 15 years old. And that project obviously is very boom bap. That album and just Joey and Pro Era, like that's what got me into hip hop as a 14, 15-year-old. So yeah, Boom Bap is objectively great. Following Boom Bap, we got Bossa Nova. Yeah, I'm going to put this in the S tier, and here's why. If calm and tranquility were a genre, to me, that would be Bossa Nova. It's just straight dopamine to the head. If you want to feel happy, you put it on. If you're already happy and you just want to extend that energy out to whoever, I just love Bossa Nova so much. Up next, we got boy bands and girl groups. And yeah, this is another easy S tier for me. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I just believe in straight pleasure. And pleasure is boy bands and girl groups. Backstreet Boys are goated. NSYNC, New Kids on the Block, TLC, Boys to Men, Spice Girls. Like, I love it all. And yeah, shout out all the good boy bands and girl groups in K-pop because they're carrying the torch into a much higher tier of it. Following that, we got butt rock, rock and roll of the booty variety. Lord have mercy. We got the Catholic Songbook. Yeah, by no means am I a devout Catholic or a practicing Catholic, but I think I'd be lying to myself if I didn't say that I like a lot of the songs here. Like, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings. Like, that's peak songwriting, dude. Like, it's great. If there's anything to like about church, it's the music. You know, and I think we would all be mistaken to write this off. I'm going to put the Catholic Songbook in okay. I do think that if I were to hear, you know, one of these songs at a church or something, like my ears would perk up and be like, oh, this is nice. Staying with the festivities, we got Christmas music. Yeah, I love Christmas music, man. Obviously, there are some stinkers in there, but hey, whenever Christmas music comes on during the holiday season, it does what it's supposed to do. It does its job. I'd personally put Christmas music in objectively good just because, like I said, it does what it's supposed to. Up next, we got classical music. I know I said at the beginning of the video that I wouldn't be covering any major genres within music, but hey, someone suggested it, so I'm gonna talk about it anyways. I listen to a lot of instrumental stuff nowadays, and classical music is definitely one of the big contributors to that. If I were to break down classical music even further, I'd say that my favorite type of classical music is just a simple, you know, piano played stuff. Like bossa nova music, it just brings me peace. Classical music belongs in the objectively good. You know, obviously it's fundamental and foundational within Western music, and most music wouldn't be where it is today without it. So up next, we got death metal. Oddly enough, I actually haven't really listened to all that much death metal. I mean, the only bands that I know are Death and Gojira. Gojira is death metal, right? So yeah, if you have any death metal bands that I should check out aside from Death and Gojira, please let me know in the comments and I will gladly check them out. Aha, this is more up my alley. Right over here, we got Deathcore. Yeah, man, I'm with it. You know, Suicide Silence, Whitechapel, Job for a Cowboy, Chelsea Grin. Those are all bands that were part of my rotation. Yeah, and even the newer bands too, like Lorna Shore and Slaughter. Like, I love them just as much. Yeah, Deathcore is going to be going into the objectively good tier. Following that, and on the more pleasant side of things, we got the Disney Renaissance. For those who don't know, the Disney Renaissance are basically the Disney animated films that came out during the 90s, specifically like Lion King, Mulan, Tarzan, Aladdin, just like those Disney films. And the music that came with those films, they're great. Like I said about Christmas music, you know, they do their job perfectly. They add to the cinematic experience, and especially someone who watched those films as a kid, like those songs and musical bits, like they're ingrained into my head. This is also going to be going to the overflowing objectively good tier. At the letter G, we got grunge. Yeah, this is another easy S tier. It's just that important to me as a genre, not just to who I am as an artist, but first and foremost to who I am as a music listener. Yeah, I remember when I heard Nirvana for the first time, just like everything about that band, the songwriting, Kurt's voice, his guitar playing, Chris's bass playing, and obviously Dave's drumming, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, like all of these are great bands. Yeah, S tier. I don't know what else to say. After grunge, we got hair metal. Hair metal is like my least favorite type of metal. Hair metal is only fun when you played hair metal songs in Guitar Hero or something. So yeah, I'm gonna slide this at the bottom of the barrel right next to butt rock. Following that, we got a genre that I like a lot more, and that is hardcore. Shout out hardcore from the OGs like Black Flag, Minor Threat, Bad Brains, and shout out to the new guys, you know, Knock Loose, Speed, Turnstile. Yeah, I'm gonna slide hardcore into objectively good as the last thing that I'm gonna put there, just because that tier is it's pretty full. I don't think I could fit anymore, but hardcore is objectively good. Up next, we got indie folk. Okay, at the risk of being a dick, let me start off by saying this. Bon Iver, Fleet Foxes, Sufjan Stevens, those artists have put out some of the best work that I've ever heard, but with indie folk as a whole, there's just such an overwhelming amount of, you know, that hey ho, stomp, clap stuff. But, you know, like I said, Bon Iver, Fleet Foxes, and Sufjan Stevens is saving this genre. After indie folk, we got lo-fi study beats. Out of everything that we talked about today, this one is the most neutral. So I'm going to put it in the okay tier. I mean, a lot of it is samey, but at the end of the day, that's the point of it. You know, lo-fi study beats is supposed to help one study. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's okay. Up next, we got possibly the easiest S tier, and that is metalcore. Yeah, metalcore is my favorite type of guitar focused music. Hey, I would even go as far as to say that metalcore is like my favorite genre of music period. Killswitch, As I Lay, ABR, Early of Mice and Men, Miss May I, like all those bands, I love all their stuff. The guitar riffs, the drumming, the vocals, both clean and harsh. Yeah, metalcore just means that much to me. It's most definitely the easiest S tier in this list. I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything about Midwest emo, so I'm gonna slide it right next to death metal in the I haven't listened to enough category. Midwest emo is like American football, right? Over here we got neo soul. Yeah, man, what's not to love about neo soul? Erica Badu, Raphael Sadiq, and personally one of my favorite artists, D'Angelo. Yeah, I'm gonna toss neo soul in the S tier. D'Angelo by himself is good enough of a reason for me to toss neo soul into the top of the tier list. After neo soul, we got post punk. Yeah, I'm gonna catch a lot of heat for this, specifically from my friends, but I'm not that big of a post punk guy. Yeah, I just don't have the same emotional inkling to post punk that most of my friends do. I mean, it's fun and important. Do I think it's shite? No, I don't. I don't think post punk is shite. Okay, this is a fun one. We got sea shanties. Yeah, I don't know much about sea shanties. I mean, the only one that I know is the once was an intent put to sea. Like, yeah, that's the only one I know. So yeah, I'm gonna slide sea shanty right next to I haven't listened to enough. And last but not least, we got another one of my favorite genres, and that is shoegaze from the pioneers in the 90s, like My Bloody Valentine and Slow Dive, to bands that are closer to my day and age, like Nothing and Soft Cult, and even like the heavier metal adjacent bands like Deftones and Loath. Like, shoegaze is pretty much everywhere. And I'm glad that it is. It's ethereal, it's celestial, it's otherworldly. Aside from metalcore, shoegaze is another one of those guitar focused genres that just hit me. So much beauty can be found in this genre, and I'm just so happy that it exists. And and I know I've said this before, but I truly mean it when I talk about shoegaze. Shoegaze has such an immense impact on not only who I am as an artist, but also who I am as just a dude who listens to music. With all that said, I'm gonna end off this tier list by tossing shoegaze where it rightfully belongs, at the top of this tier list. Well, there we have it, y'all. Another one for the books. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. As you know, I love doing tier lists. I love doing top 10s about music. So whatever you guys want to see me cover, please let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.